Now the jury is hearing from that school resource officer who served Zahraa Ali's her trespass papers a month before the violent incident at the bus stop near the school's campus. So let's listen.
Mrs. Ali's request allow her to have Haneen present.
Yes.
Okay, and was at that time was Haneen present when Mrs. Ali requested her assistance?
I don't believe so.
Okay, did you all have to wait for Haneen to get there then?
I believe so.
Okay. And then as part of issuing the trespass letter, did you also explain to Mrs. Ali sort of the places that she's not allowed to go to when it comes to the school?
Yes.
And what did you explain to her or advise her?
That it related specifically to Timberline High School, which would include the building, inside the building, outside the building, like the parking lot, as well as like the track field or the baseball fields.
Okay. And Officer Howard, were you also aware that there were videos taken of the incident at the bus stop?
Yes.
And did you at any point, well, let me ask you this question. What, if any, videos were you able to obtain on October 22nd of 2024?
The intercity transit bus videos.
Okay. And were you successful in obtaining the IT bus videos capturing the incident?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also watch those videos after you collected them from intercity transit?
Yes.
And did you recognize any of the students that were depicted on the videos?
Yes, I did.
And who did you recognize? And besides obtaining the intercity transit bus videos, did you obtain any other videos?
Yes.
And were they videos taken by students or adults, to your knowledge?
Students.
And which two students did you obtain videos from? Obtained the video from Noah Pierpont and what he had observed himself at the bus stop.
Yes.
And Noah Pierpont with Timberline High School.
Yes, he's also one of my students at Timberline.
Okay. And do you you testify that you also obtained a video from
He's also one of my students at Timberline.
Okay. And when you made contact with Elijah on what his observations were of the incident at the bus stop?
Yes.
Okay. And Officer Howard, you, when describing the relationship of Noah, you testify that they're your students. Is it fair to say that you sort of view all the students at Timberline High School as your students?
Yes.
Okay. And besides obtaining statements from
Yes, I did.
And do you remember whose statements you obtained?
Yes.
Okay. And who were they? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kading, cross-examination.
I have no question, Joan.
Thank you. Mr. Larry, cross.
All right, just want to remind you, we cannot allow the names of any of the minors to be said on the air, so that's why we block that out when she's saying those names. All right, we're going to go to break, but before we do, I have an update in Florida where prosecutors rested their case today in the penalty phase of confessed murderer Shelby Nealy. The defense then got underway, delivering their opening statement and calling witnesses. Now, Nealy pleaded guilty to killing his mother and father-in-law, as well as his brother-in-law, in December of 2018. Now, it was during that investigation that officials learned he also killed his wife, Jamie, nearly a year earlier. Now, Nealy already pleaded guilty to manslaughter in her death and is serving a 30-year sentence. Now, the lead investigator testified today that Nealy told him that he killed his wife because he thought that she was going through some sort of psychosis after she came at their daughter with a knife. The jury watched the police interview where he explains that he did this to protect his kids.
You're basically saying that, yes, I murdered her, but it was to protect my child.
Yes.
Okay. If that is the case, I have to ask you a follow-up question is, once this happens, she comes at your daughter with a knife, you get cut, you choke her out, she's gone. Did the thought ever cross your mind of calling the authorities? Or did that not even enter the picture?
It kind of did. Like, when I saw the blood come out of her mouth and everything. Or not her mouth, her nose, I'm sorry.
Right.
And then I was like, no, you know, every time we go to the authorities to try and get help to settle this, it doesn't work. You know, in my head, I foresaw what was going to happen. She was going to get all better at the hospital, you know, physically wise, and then she was going to come home and continue beating me. It was just going to continue being a bad chain. You know, I know all these horrible events happen, but at least I can say my kids won't have to witness those horrible things.
You're right.
Now, it will be up to the jury to decide whether to recommend life in prison without parole or the death penalty for Nealy. And a reminder, you can stream the entire penalty phase on Court TV's YouTube channel. All right, we'll take that break now. Coming up next on Court TV, we'll have more testimony in the attempted murder trial of Ihsan and Zahraa Ali happening in Washington State. And when we return, we're going to have a great question from Roxy Chavez on our YouTube feed. This comes from that YouTube feed. Do the cultural beliefs of the Alis fall under the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment that guarantees religious freedom, like arranged marriages? We'll have your answer straight ahead, so keep it here on Court TV.
What are you thinking during this period of time?
Heartbroken.
Okay. By what?
For what my dad did.
Okay. Did you have any fear?
Yes.
About what?
Of dying.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. I want to take you back to court now in Washington. Ihsan Ali and his wife Zahraa are accused of trying to kill their 17-year-old daughter back in October of last year. At a bus stop near her former high school, Ihsan was seen on surveillance and cell phone video attacking his daughter and putting her in a chokehold. Now, according to court documents, his daughter told police that Ali threatened her with an honor killing after she rejected an arranged marriage. Neither side is allowed to mention honor killing because the judge ruled that it is too prejudicial. I want to head back to court now where Officer Howard is on the stand. She's the school resource officer. She's now on cross-examination by Zahraa Ali's defense.
Do you normally have body-worn video when you're in the school?
I normally wear a body-worn camera, yes.
Fair enough. Okay, so, and so are you in a, so you're, is that dress blues? Is that your uniform that you wear to school, or do you have more of a duty belt with a vest and other accoutrements?
So this is my Class A uniform, so like special occasions or court. The uniform I normally wear is a jumpsuit, which is black in color, an outer-worn vest, which has my body-worn camera attached.
Okay, and so then how often do you turn on your body-worn camera in an average week?
Well, on an average week, I'd probably say a couple of times during the week.
Okay, and so what are things that would trigger you activating the camera?
Sometimes I do make traffic stops in the parking lot, so you activate it during that time. When there's like a disturbance that actually happens inside the school where kids are fighting or arguing. Sometimes when you do an interview at the school.
And so And then what causes you to generate a report?
Often normal reports are like in reference to like criminal events or behaviors that are occurring in the school.
And so from the September 17th transmission of the letter to Zahraa Ali, so you didn't activate your body-worn camera, correct?
Correct.
And didn't generate a report, correct?
Not specifically with the issuance of the letter, no.
Okay. And so were you a part of generating the letter that was handed to her?
No.
And did you read it to her, or was it read to her in that September 17th meeting?
I believe I went over what the letter had stated in reference to specifically relating to Timberline High School.
Okay. And so, and you testified on direct, the points that you made is that she wasn't allowed, Mrs. Ali wasn't allowed to be at Timberline High School, and you said the buildings, track and field, the complex.
Yes, and the parking lots too.
Okay. Was she precluded from being anywhere else?
Well, anywhere that was what it stated, the North Thurston School District properties.
Did you say that, or did you just say did you just say Timberline High School?
Well, I believe I read the language that was on the letter, but it related specifically to Timberline because that's where her daughter was attending at the time.
Okay. And do you have a specific recollection of that?
Just in generality in reference to Timberline High School.
Okay. All right. And was it clear to you that English was not her first language?
Well, when I initially spoke with her, it was in English, but out of respect for her request that her daughter respond to help with translation, that's why her daughter was contacted to respond.
Okay. So was it clear to you that English wasn't her first language, though?
I believe she understood what I was saying in English, but because she requested her daughter to help with additional translation, that's why I'd also offered the language line as well too. I'm not going to assume one way or the other, but it was at her request, and that's why I had called for her daughter to respond.
Okay. Nothing further.
Redirect.
Officer Howard, with regards to when you served Mrs. Ali with the trespass letter, when you were providing her with a trespass letter, it was not a criminal investigation. Is that fair to say?
That is correct.
Okay, and this may seem like a silly question, but it was not a traffic stop either?
No, it was not.
Okay, and is it fair to say you were simply assisting the school in providing a parent with in this case, a no trespass letter?
Yes.
And when you spoke with Mrs. Ali, you testified earlier about, you also told her about the prohibited places as it relates to Timberline High School. Did you share that information with her orally?
Yes.
Okay, and were you very specific as to Timberline High School?
Yes, because that's where her daughter was attending.
Okay, and her daughter, which daughter are you referring to?
Fatima.
Okay, and when you explained to her you mentioned the track course and then also the parking lot and the gymnasium, when you referred to all those areas, were you specific that it was associated with Timberline High School?
Yes.
Okay, and when you shared that information with her, did it appear to you that she had any difficulty understanding what you had told her?
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Okay. When you share that information with her, does she say anything along the lines of, I don't understand, I'm confused?
No.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr.